is up, guys? It's another beautiful morning out here at the Mint Hill Shoe Market, and today we are diving into the Glycerin. I have never run in a Brooks Glycerin. It's an OG, the 21. Put some respect on that 21. I love when all these shoes get up to the high numbers. And you might be wondering why I'm tying up a shoe here. That is not the Glycerin. This is the Brooks Ghost Max. This is my current favorite casual wear shoe. Super comfortable, super smooth, super cushioned. It's everything that I want in a walking and casual shoe. And so with this being such a hit for me, I knew I needed to try the Glycerin because it's summer 2024 and we're trying to keep it cozy and we're trying to keep it comfy. Let's get into it. Bang. So we have got the Brooks Glycerin up here, and I also pulled a few of my other favorite Max cushion shoes other than the Ghost Max here. So we have the On Cloud Monster. This was my previous walking shoe, casual shoe. I did marathon training in it. It was the first Max cushion shoe that I really could run in, that I could tolerate. I tried the SE Trainer, I tried the Bond DX, I tried a few of the More V4. I didn't like any of those shoes until I tried the Cloud Monster. Something about the Cloud Monster was the perfect blend of comfort and protection without feeling like I was fighting against the foam. The Nimbus was then the next shoe that I tried that I could tolerate, but it didn't quite hit for me in the same way as the New Balance 1080 did in the middle, which is a nice, very soft shoe. Might be one of the softest shoes in the game here. Also, man, a beautiful shoe to just lace up. Look at this colorway. It reminds me of my alma mater. Bang. And then recently, this year, this has probably been my favorite of the new Max Cushion shoes that I've tried. And the trend this year is that all the Max Cushion shoes, they have plates now. They're just stuffing plates in them. The best Max Cushion shoe, the Skyward X, has a plate. It's wild. Even the Max Road 6, the Neo Vista, they all are getting the plates. And I haven't really found a more traditional shoe in the vein of Cloud Monster. Not that like Cloud Monster is traditional, but Cloud Monster and 1080 coming out this year that has been my go-to for Max Cushion. And I've rocked the Ghost Max nearly every day, or at least every day where I step out of the neighborhood and do some errands. And look at this, man. There's not a cloud in the sky. Look at that. Put some respect on Mother Nature. So I'm excited to see what the Glycerin has to offer and if it can get into that 1080 Cloud Monster territory for me. Invincible is a great shoe, but it's a little bit more on the bouncy, uncontrolled side. And for me, I love these Max Cushion shoes for those relaxed miles, just cruising, crushing without having to worry about pace. So with that, guys, let's pop open this box here. Man, look at this. I love when brands do some fun stuff, even just on the box. Run happy. Shout out to Warren Buffett, too. Oh, they even have another Run Happy down here. So Brooks did send me this pair right here. Shout out to my girl, Jazzy G. She's a real one, man. Brooks holds it down. They've sent me this. They've sent me the Hyperion Elite. They've sent me the Ghost 16, which I actually really like that shoe. I need to get some more miles. Maybe I'll do a 16-mile double day on the Brooks Ghost 16 or something. But this is the Glycerin 21. I do know it has the same foam as the Ghost 16, which I absolutely loved in that shoe. And look at this colorway here. This might be a bang-worthy one. It's the white gray. I asked if they could send me the cleanest colorway out there. Bang! Look at this. Can you see that? Woo! Man. Ooh. Pull up in those nursing home 7000s. No, I think this is so white and gray that it's actually fire. Let's do a little drip check here. New Balance 1080 V13. Oh, we got to organize our laces. New Balance 1080 V13. This is clean. This is clean too. And I like the off-white color on the bottom paired with this nice Columbia blue. That's a banger. But then if you look at this is the pure white. It is white as white can get. There's no off-white to it. There's no creaminess to it. It is bright white paired with the gray. That's a nice look. If you're going to get a Brooks shoe, you better be coming with that clean all white. And I think that's why I was hesitant to try Brooks shoes for so long. The swag is not there. And that's something that I really liked about the Ghost Max that I'm rocking. I do like the swag. I like the way that this looks. I like how they've done the more of that monochromatic vibe with some nice touches of color. So their design language is moving in the right direction. at least for the Ghost Max. Ghost 16 didn't quite do it for me. And the Ghost Max 2, I don't know if they're reversing the design language, but they added some more squiggles and stuff, so we'll have to see. We'll have to wait till we can get that one in hand. But Glycerin 21 in this white colorway here, I really like it. And we have a gigantic slab of foam underfoot, and it seems, just holding it in my hand, for the amount of foam we're getting, it seems decently lightweight. Seems like it might be as light as the 1080 or around the same ballpark. So for me, I'm hoping that this shoe can be a nice, comfy cruiser. Also good for casual use. That's the thing about a shoe like the Glycerin. Yes, I want to throw down some miles in it, but with how many great plated, more performance-oriented Max Cushion shoes there are, like the Neo Vista, the Skyward X, Brooks is coming out with the Hyperion Max, this would be the shoe that I use to occasionally get some miles in, but also walk around town, anything where I want to be comfortable. And depending on how the run performance is, this also might be a great recovery running shoe. Look at this. I mean, look at this. So if you know anything about Brooks, they're all about durability. We have a gigantic chunk of rubber here on the bottom, as well as the gigantic slab of foam. So this rubber should keep our foam pretty well protected. It's very thick. And we also get a decently wide base out here in the back. It's actually not the widest. Let's compare to the 1080 here. Wow, it's just so clean, bright white right now. Look at that. Yeah, it's a little bit wider than the 1080. I didn't have any stability issues with the 1080. The Glycerin here should also be, it should be pretty stable given how wide we have it. But they do have a GTS version, so a go-to support is what they call it. That has more of that prescriptive stability where they have the little plastic piece on the, I think on the inside and the outside that will hold the lateral and the medial side that will hold the foot in place. And then upper here, let's compare it to the 1080. A lot more structured. Wow, yeah, a lot more structured in the back here. I can barely push it in with my entire weight versus the 1080. A little bit more flexible, especially at this little top piece here. Padding is similar, the looks of it, but the New Balance is way softer. And this whole Achilles piece on the New Balance, that's just straight plush, straight cush. Sound like Wiz Khalifa out here. But yeah, this is all just soft. It's just a soft, pillowy piece on the 1080. This is on the Glycerin. It's plastic, wraps the entire back frame here. And then tongues are pretty similar with the padding. And then the upper material in general is pretty similar as well. Doesn't seem like it's the most breathable, but it's not a performance speed shoe, so it doesn't surprise me that they're not going with a super aggressive race upper on here. So compared to the Ghost Max, which I have on my feet, the Glycerin has a little bit of a higher drop. So the midsole in the back versus the front, there's a 10 millimeter difference. Theoretically, that should mean it's a little bit better for heel striking, that you get this bigger chunk of foam out here. But for me, I've also found that sometimes these 10 millimeter drops, at least recently, can alter my stride in a way that I don't love. So we'll see how the 10 millimeter drop does. It also seems like there's a little bit more of an aggressive rocker than the Ghost Max. I might have to take this guy off real quick. Yeah, the rocker is more aggressive. The foam is also different in the midsole. So the Ghost Max has a little bit more of a traditional foam, and that was one of the issues I had with the Ghost Max. It wasn't super peppy and lively for me, and it felt that, for running at least, I was kind of fighting against the foam instead of getting some pop and pep. So this Glycerin foam, oh my gosh, yeah, it just feels a lot bouncier. The Ghost Max foam is great for impact absorption, and the way that they've set up this midsole here, you can see that there's this nice smooth roll up front. The Glycerin looks just a touch more aggressive with the stance, and that's a 10 millimeter drop, right? You can see that there's this point right up here where it angles you down. That was the same thing with the Adidas Adizero SL2 with the 9 millimeter drop. It angles you down and has a little bit more of an aggressive stance versus the Ghost Max with the 4 millimeter drop. This almost felt like a flat, completely flat, zero drop shoe to me at times, but very smooth for walking. My favorite, probably favorite all-time shoe for walking, and you can see we've put in the work in this guy. Pull up to the splash pad in the Ghost Max, bro. Put some respect on my fathering. It's an organic fatherhood, bang. So yeah, I'm hoping Glycerin is a little bit better for running, or a lot better for running than the Ghost Max was for me. I do have a friend, Jessica. She's one of Mason's friends' moms. Jessica, she runs marathons in this thing. She puts up 3:15 marathons in the Glycerin, so put some respect on Jessica's marathon time. I also know tons of people who run this as their daily trainer, so I'm excited to get some miles in it. Let's throw it on the scale, see how it compares with weight, and we can lace this bad boy up and go rip. What do you guys think? Should we rip this morning? I think we should rip this morning. Move, shoe! Get out the way, get out the way. You think Ludacris has ever rocked a pair of Brooks Glycerins? Now that's the question I want to answer. Which rappers have ever worn Brooks Glycerin? All right, 299.5 grams. That is solid. The Propel that we had out here yesterday was it was around the same. Now it went up to 300, but around the same. 300. So that is average for a daily trainer, and that is pretty lightweight for a max cushion shoe. Let's put on the Ghost Max here just to get a little bit of a comparison. So that's coming in heavier at 309. The 1080, this is one of the lightest max cushion shoes, so this is going to be a little bit lower. Yeah, 288. And where is that difference coming from? Foam, maybe. The Glycerin's upper feels a little bit thicker, so that's probably the additional. And then this is also a half a size bigger. The 1080 I have here, this is in a size 11. And let's throw the Invincible on, which has this lightweight and bouncy race foam. But this guy's a little bit more built up, again, in the upper, and it just feels a little bit bulkier on foot. There might be more foam in general in the Invincible here. And this has a very aggressive 10 millimeter drop stance where it really puts you up on your toes. Very noticeable. So that's 308 grams. Now, Invincible 3, why is it out here versus everything else that I've run in this year and all the other max cushion shoes? Well, because I walked in this the other day, and it blew me away with how comfortable it was for walking. And Charlie said, wow, that has some bounce to it. She was looking at my midsoles, bro. I said, why are you looking at my midsoles, bro? It had some bounce to it. It was noticeably bouncy, even from a bystander. And I thought it would be a great pick in this category, right? If you were looking for all the shoes we have out here, and we got to organize our workspace. This is getting a little sloppy. 308, by the way, in the Invincible. But these three shoes here, some of the best for relaxed running and walking and swag. If you want a max cushion shoe to wear around town, you're going to see people in these three different variants, right? Cloud Monster, pull up like a soccer mom. 1080, pull up like a Brooklynite. Invincible 3, pull up like... What do you pull up like? There's a certain demographic of people that pull up in the Invincible 3. I can't quite come up with a pithy name for it. And then Glycerin 21, bang, pull up in your mom's favorite daily trainer. So that's really the thing. These are all different flavors of comfort, protection, with a little bit of fun. And that's what I'm hoping we can get out of this guy. Weight is great, but can we get a little bit of fun and pop? Because I did get some nice bounce from the Ghost 16. So let's lace this up. We can do a little bit of a fit and feel test versus Ghost Max here. Hey, Derek White. Hold on, you already know. We've got to put both shoes on. Warren Buffett's shoes are very equally weighted typically. Yeah, 300 and 300.5. Shout out to Brooks. Put some respect on the quality assurance over at Brooks. Bang. Let me see. What do you guys think? Made in China or Vietnam? Vietnam. That's where all the highest quality factories are these days. Alright guys, let's lace up the Glycerin 21 here. Now, one of the things I loved about the Ghost Max was that it's soft now that it's broken in, but it's not as soft as the 1080 or the Invincible. It's not this super deep sinking in softness. And especially when running, it was great for absorbing impact, but I didn't feel like I was sinking all the way into the ground. So I'm curious to see how this foam and the Glycerin will respond. Let's see. Right on step in. I feel a little higher up in the Glycerin. Let me say that. Can you see this? This is so clean. This is such a clean look. Now the other reason, the real reason I wanted to do this today, guys, a little secret. I'm going to Poconos tomorrow for a week. Cause my sister, she got a place up there last year. So I felt this could be a fire travel shoe and vacation shoe. But the thing is, do you see this clean white? Am I gonna want to wear this on a road trip? I don't know. I don't think I can wear this on a road trip. What do you think? Can I justify wearing this on a road trip? That's the great thing about this one, which, by the way, Charlie bought me this one, the Ghost Max. It's the perfect road trip colorway. Because it can get wrecked. You can take it into a gas station bathroom. You can step on all weird types of stuff. And it's already gray. Versus this one, this is about to get some serious poundage. Man. Alright, little walk test here. This feels like it's an unfair comparison because at this point the Ghost Max feels like an extension of my foot because I've spent so much time walking in it and it's so broken in, and it's just my favorite walking shoe of all time. So the Ghost Max is more broken in right now. It feels a little bit softer and smoother with the roll. The Glycerin feels like I have a ton of stack and protection. It's not a traditional standard EVA. This is super critical in the Glycerin, meaning, let's grab this shoe here. So these supercritical foams, in the manufacturing process, they get a gas injected into them. And wow, look at the sun just glistening off our Glycerin. But yeah, these supercritical foams, they get gas injected to them in the manufacturing process. That tends to make them a little airier feeling, lighter and bouncier. I haven't found that they typically need a ton of break-in compared to the more standard foams, but maybe this one will need a few runs in it to open up, or a few days walking around on foot. Because right now, let's do a little... Yeah, right now, I feel higher up in the heel, but it doesn't... I don't know. Something about the Ghost Max just feels softer and smoother to me, for walking at least. And I think the lower drop profile of the Ghost Max for walking is preferable. But they do have the Ghost Max 2 soon coming. Pull up with that Yoda flow, which will have a more similar foam, or the exact foam that we see in the Glycerin. So that should negate the foam differences and just make it a swag and rocker geometry difference if you're deciding between the two. So let's go do a little quick jog test though. Can you see that? Can you see that? Dude, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. I was just minding my business, walking down to the street here. There's a gigantic spider web just hanging. I don't know if you can really see that. Look at that. Just hanging right in the middle. Oh, now the spider's going down, man. That's crazy. Alright guys, you already know the deal. This quick jog test is brought to you by our friends over at Viore. Look at this. Bang. Comfiest swag in the game. So I've been rocking these. The Core Short 5 inchers. Very comfortable. They come in lined and unlined. I've been wearing them pretty much every day. I got 4 pairs, 2 in black, 2 in blue. It's my new summer uniform. And I told you, summer 2024, it's all about the comfort and the coziness. And that's why I'm testing the Glycerin. I also have a new shoe coming. I think first day of vacation. We're going to break it out. It's known to be one of the most comfortable shoes of all time. At least it's a standard in comfort, and I've never tried it. So stay tuned for that one. But today, we're doing the Glycerin. We're rocking the Viores. You can get these guys right now for 20% off with the Hobby Jogger URL below. So go ahead and click that. It's viore.com/hobbyjogger. It will automatically apply the 20% off to your cart. I suggest the Core Short 5 inchers. The most comfortable and the most versatile shorts in the game. Plus, they have swag. So let's get into it, man. Quick jog test. Glycerin 21 versus Brooks Ghost Max.
Mafia on the track.
So the Glycerin 21, it feels a little bit more aggressive with this toe off up here. Let's just compare. Yeah, you can see it more aggressively angles up. I'm surprised that I get any sort of aggression from the Glycerin 21. It also feels a lot higher out in the back, and I don't think the stacks on paper are that different, but that's why it's important that we do these analyses, because look at this. You can see in the Ghost Max where my finger is, that's pretty much where the foam ends. You are on top of that, versus the Glycerin where my finger is, that's really where you're sitting on top of. So it feels significantly higher, not even a little bit, it feels significantly higher. And then we also get a little bit more pep out of this foam in the Glycerin 21. So I know a lot of people out there don't always consider Brooks as a first choice for their running shoes. We got another unmarked white vehicle coming through here. It was marked and then they took the markings off. But I know a lot of people don't consider Brooks, but the Ghost Max and the Hyperion Max, those are the two shoes that are now getting a little bit more street cred with hobby joggers out there. So if you are a hobby jogger and you like the way that this foam has been described so far, I think the Ghost Max 2 probably might be the one that a lot of people go for. But let's get some miles in. I want to see how this thing performs out there for the run. Plan for the run is 10 miles. That's, I don't know, maybe we'll throw some pace in there, but I have to do the long run tomorrow because we're going to the Poconos. So long run straight into a 5-hour drive up to somewhere in the Shenandoah. I think we might stop in Winchester. If you have any great Winchester, Virginia recommendations, let me know. All right, let's go lace this thing up.
You think Rick Ross ever rocks a nice fresh white pair of Brooks Glycerins? What about Nelly? Stop in my Glycerin 21s. I don't know, man. I don't think so. This colorway, though, it goes off. This is New Balance levels. White, the white with the gray. And the thing with Brooks is, it's like Nike with the Invincible. Every single one of Brooks' shoes, they have 45 different colorways because this shoe is sold everywhere. And that is the benefit of, if you're a Glycerin runner and you need a new pair of shoes, you can go down to your local Target and pick up a pair. That's not true. They don't sell it, but it's everywhere. Dick's Sporting Goods, every local running shoe store, any athletic store, they will have the Glycerin and the Ghost. That is dang near a guarantee. So with that, guys, let's go get some miles in.
All right, 1 minute into running in the Brooks Glycerin 21. I can tell you, there is nothing objectionable about this shoe. This might be one of those shoes where, like the Rebel V4, that's the one to get if you want something just lightweight, where it's not gonna blow you away, but it has a little bit of bounce to it. The comfort is because there's nothing crazy going on. That's the same vibe I'm getting from this. There's nothing remarkable from the ride. It's not super soft, but it still is decently bouncy. And this is the OG shoe for bigger runners. This is the bigger runner pick that people have been going to for years for that little bit of extra support and comfort. So similar to the Nike Pegasus, Brooks isn't gonna do anything crazy with this to mess it up. But so far, this ride is much more enjoyable to me than the Pegasus. Nothing crazy, but just the right bit of bounce and a little smooth roll to it. $100-mile week in the Brooks Glycerin. Should bring this as my one shoe to the Poconos. That would be absolutely preposterous. But yeah, half a mile in here, initial early overreaction. This shoe is nothing special in the best way possible. It's just simple, comfortable cushion underfoot. Feels like it's gonna get the job done. But we got 10 miles today, so I want to see how this foam holds up for some longer time on feet. I'll hit you guys with an update in a bit. One thing I'm noticing here is as I pick up the pace a little bit, so right now I'm defaulting to about a 750 to 8, but if I pop down to a 730 to 740, the foam is coming alive a little bit more with the bounce. So I really do think the bigger runner thing is real here. If you're putting down some more power into the shoe through weight, it's gonna come alive and give you that nice bounce. And I do not anticipate this will have any of that bottoming out, but we shall see. We're doing a tenner, so we shall see. 21. Young savage, why you trapping so hard? Ah, you got the 12 car garage. Whoa. Some bad business. So we're almost at mile 4 here. And the foam experience underfoot is reminding me a little bit of the 860 V14, which I absolutely love. The thing is, it feels like the elements there come together a little bit better with the way that the rocker is shaped, and because that also doesn't have a 10mm drop. And the stability on that one is also a touch better than this. But in terms of that dense squish, and then the release, that Light Strike Pro feeling, right, where it's bouncy but not super soft, that's what you're getting here. Same as the 860. So if you're used to a old beat up sneaker, this will feel very soft. But on the continuum, the spectrum, all the wide variety of foams that we have out there, it's on the softer side, but not the softest by any means. I would say it's bouncier than it is soft. It does have a nice bounce to it. Guys, this is all I wanted. This is all I wanted from that React X foam from Nike. I wasn't expecting an explosive, mind-blowing experience. I wasn't expecting a race day feel. Just something with good impact absorption and a nice bit of bounce. And that's what this foam has. This is one of the best traditional feeling, but still fun, everyday running foams out there. Oh man, we got squirrel guts. This is, I think, maybe what the React X was going for, but just completely fell flat. So they did do a nice job with this foam. Brooks is revamping all their foams. And man, they're competitive now. Yeah, in terms of a more traditional feel with a little bit of excitement, that's what this is giving me. All right, so we're at the halfway point here. We just hit mile 5, 7:43 pace. It does feel a little bit better when I pick it up down to 7:30, 7:40. That's where I get all the bounce and pep. But I can totally see why people run marathons in these. It's nearly disappeared on my foot at this point in the run. It's not giving me any crazy speed assistance or maximum amount of cushioning and softness. It's just a tool for the job that feels a little bit better than a lower stag normal shoe like a Pegasus or a Ghost. This is the type of shoe that's making me wonder if that $140 traditional daily trainer category is just dead. Why would you go for the Pegasus or the Ride when this exists? And I understand there's a $20 difference, right? But below the Pegasus and the Ride of the world, you have the SL2 and the Propel, and then above them, you have shoes like this. And then at 140, you have shoes like the 860 and the Supernova Rise. So that really traditional feeling shoe, I just don't know where its place is in the market. $21. We just hit mile 7, and I pretty much I was zoning out and forgot that I had this shoe on my foot. It's just there. It's just a running shoe in the best way possible. It's just a running shoe to the good side. It's the corollary to the Pegasus, right? Where with this one, it's just there, but it's providing exactly what I need and nothing that I don't, like the Rebel. And there's really no weirdness to it, which is great. I think some people might find the drop a little high, but for me on this recovery or everyday run, it's pretty solid. So unless something changes, I'll see you guys back at home. Before we get home, people always ask me how I keep my shoes so clean. I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's because I only run in the pristine Charlotte suburbs. Unless I run in shoes in the rain, I can keep a pair of white shoes crispy for 100 miles or more. That was not the case when I lived in Brooklyn, huh? The chopped chicken heads on the side of the road and stuff. Man, they can come for the video length, they can come for the audio quality, they can come for the analysis, but don't you come for my mileage. These other boys, they have more shoes than weekly miles. Your favorite shoe tuber has more shoes than weekly miles. Man, does that check out to you? Get out of here. Alright guys, boom, 10 miles, average 7:43 pace, 1 hour, 17 minutes, 38 seconds, and this is what I like to call a good old-fashioned job doer. These are the pension getter 21s, baby. You put in that work, and they're going to work for you. That's all it is, plain and simple. Glycerin 21, put some respect on the Glycerin franchise. 21 seasons in the game. Pull up like I'm Tim Duncan. Pull up like I'm Tom Brady, baby. Bang. Yeah, man, nothing fancy about these guys. They just get the job done. And pull up in the Bill Belichick 17s. Boom. I bet Bill Belichick has rocked a pair of Glycerins before. Oh, and look at that. Starting to get some creases even after the first run. Foam will probably soften up a bit more. Not that it needs it. And I was joking out there about, let's brighten this up a touch. But yeah, I was joking out there about doing a 100-mile week in these guys. I am not going to do that. Though it is tempting. Just bringing these up to the Poconos and banging out a 100-mile week in them. I don't know if Charlie, I was thinking about not doing a 100-mile week next week on vacation to probably just inconvenience the family if I do and be really annoying. But I don't know what I would talk about in every daily video if I were just running in these every day, but I don't know. They are the type of shoe that if I weren't reviewing shoes and analyzing them every day and trying to knock out a broad swath of the market here, this is the type of shoe that I could do a lot of my weekly mileage in. This is exactly what I look for in a traditional daily trainer. Now, we've been running in a lot of fun daily trainers recently. Propel, SL2. And then if we think about max cushion, like Invincible over here, the max cushion category is also trending more toward fun, where we have Skyward X, Cloud Monster Hyper, just these crazy shoes, even the Invincible right here, right? This just feels, it just feels simple. It feels traditional. There's nothing crazy about the ride. It just lets me get out there and run. And every once in a while I stumble across a shoe like this. There's not too many of them left. Rebel V3 was a good one from last year. The Zoom Structure is another good one from Nike that has that simple feeling, though that has a little bit more going on than this, a little bit more pep and pop. The geometry is a little bit, I think, a touch more awkward can be for certain paces than this. This just works. It's a grocery getter in the best way possible, man. It's a job doer. Putting the work in the Glycerin 21. Let's go do this breakdown. Put some respect on my hydration. All right, guys, 10 miles this morning in the Brooks Glycerin 21, and this is a simple cruiser, and I think it's finally time for me to plant the flag, plant the stake in the ground, and say the $140 daily trainer is dead. Now, there are some great shoes for $140, like the New Balance Rebel V4, Asics Nova Blast 4, and Hoka Mach 6, but all of those shoes are bringing something new to the market. They're introducing something to that category that is not traditional, that is new, that is exciting, that is either fast and bouncy like the Mach 6, or stripped down and streamlined and gives you that bare connected feeling like the Rebel V4, or is more of a max stack marathon training crushing cruiser like the Asics Nova Blast 4. This thing here, this is the best traditional $140 daily trainer that I've tried this year. And you'll notice it's not $140, it's $160. So that does put it up more against shoes like the Nimbus, the 1080, the Saucony Tempest. There's a lot of those $160 max cushion shoes. And against those, is this the softest? No. Is it the bounciest? No. Is it the most exciting? No. Is it the most comfortable? No. Is it the most stable? No. It's not the most anything. It's one of those shoes that blends a lot of the elements together, and these are the types of versatile do-it-all shoes that fly off the shelf for that exact reason. And that's why the shoe is so popular. It just gets the job done. This is my first time ever running in it, and I'm impressed and not necessarily surprised, but I'm impressed that it could handle the type of work that we did today. So we did 10 miles, started off at a nice relaxed pace, gradually sped up to about a 7:40 or a 7:30, and these crows are going absolutely ham. I was just trying to talk through it, but we might need to... You guys good? I think we scared them off. So 10 miles. We're just going to keep pushing. I don't even know if you could hear it. It's just throwing me off of my game. I'm just going to try to, sometimes we have challenges. We have the lawnmower, we have flies. Today's we have the sun. Today it's the crows. So we did 10 miles, started off a relaxed pace, sped up to about 7:40, 7:30. It felt good for all of that. Again, not the most anything. There's no superlatives here. Maybe most normal would be the superlative I would give to it. It didn't blow me away, but it did completely melt away from my foot. So I think for someone out there who's looking for a simple, traditional feeling shoe, this is gonna be the one to get. The 880 was a flop for me. The Pegasus was a flop for me. The Ride was a flop for me. And those are the three probably most traditional feeling and most shoes that are most oriented toward that person who wants that classic 10 millimeter drop or higher drop feeling, not the softest ride, just something to get the job done. This gives me that, but with the cushion amped up a little bit more, a little bit more bounce, a little bit more excitement, and not too much that it's gonna feel super weird if you've never run in a max stack shoe, but just enough to make it, whoa. Dude, I don't know what's going on over here. Oh, look at that. There's a majestic hawk just coming and flying in. We're just gonna finish this up quickly because now the kids are out here. This is a mess. This is things we have to deal with as a hobby jogger. Yeah, if you're looking for something that's smooth, traditional feeling with a little bit more protection, this is gonna be great. It's awesome for heel striking as it has this gigantic chunk of foam. It doesn't even look like a legal shoe. It looks like there's 50 millimeters of stack back here. It almost looks as high as the Skyward X. So it does have that 10 millimeter drop feeling. If you don't love 10 millimeter drops, I would wait till the Ghost Max 2 comes out because this is a great foam. This DNA Loft V3, one of the best just simple training foams. It's not too soft and squishy. So again, this is gonna be a great shoe for bigger runners who want a little bit more of that density underfoot. This is not going to bottom out at all, and I project it will have no issues going up to 20, 21 miles. And as I said, my friend Jessica runs full marathons in this. So real workhorse here. This is a real job doer, a real mileage crusher. If I could pick one shoe, or if I had to pick one shoe to handle all my weekly mileage, this would not be a bad choice. Of course, it's not going to be as exciting as something like the Hoka Skyward X, but similar to the New Balance 860, it has that versatile, nice roll feel to it that I look for in shoes that I want to do a bunch of different types of runs. So I know we've still been on the hunt for that Saucony Triumph 20 replacement. This could be a good Saucony Triumph 20 replacement. It's not as, I don't know, I have to get some more miles in it, but it does give me that versatile feel. It does have that nice tall stack. It does have that nice tall bounce. And I think the foam will probably soften up just a little bit, but even if it keeps this character throughout the rest of his life, it will be a nice ride. So unlike the Ghost, this does have a little bit more stack. So I think if you don't love tall stack shoes like this, I would go for the Ghost or even the New Balance Rebel. But if you want a little bit more cushion, this is going to be a nice one. So this isn't a crazy go out and buy it now because it's going to blow your mind. But if you've been looking for a reliable, comfortable shoe, a steady shoe that's going to get the job done for marathon training, that's the Glycerin 21 here. Something like the 1080, I've said this before, I don't love taking that shoe over 90 minutes. I would have no problem taking this over 90 minutes. Is it as soft and pampering on the legs for a run like this? No. But I also threw in some strides at the end there. I don't remember if I said that or not because the crows were just going ham. But I threw in some strides at the end there, getting down to a 5:20 pace. I did 6 reps of that, and it performed great. So a lot more versatile than a shoe like the 1080. A lot more versatile than a shoe like the Nike Invincible 3. Not as comfortable, squishy. Biggest scammers of all time, Spectrum Internet. Not as comfortable and squishy as the Invincible, but again, a little bit more normal feeling. So a great shoe if you want that normal, classic shoe. I recommend this over the Pegasus. I recommend this over the Ghost Max for running. I still think the Ghost Max is a great walking shoe, but if you want something to run in, the bounce in this and the pep in this is great. So a solid shoe. I'm definitely gonna get some more miles in this. I'll probably do some more comparisons as well. Let me know what comparisons you want to see, but I can tell you now, it's right in the middle of that soft, firm continuum. It's got a nice bound to it. Stability is solid, and they do have that stability version as well. Oh, last thing I should say, this comes in wide, of course. They have a bunch of different widths of it, but it is a little bit narrow. So if you need a wider toe box, you might want to get that wide. So yeah, Brooks Glycerin 21. I'm impressed. I'm gonna get some more miles in. Let me know what comparisons I should do. I gotta get inside before I get attacked by a bird or a fly, and let me know what shoes I should take to the Poconos that you want to see me compare, review, all that good stuff. Charlie's, I think she's packing the car. We're not even going to tomorrow. That's a responsible mother right there. Yeah, put some respect on her packing skills. I'll see you guys tomorrow. One more thing, guys. I don't know if I said this earlier, but this video was basically exclusively for my guy Conor Vaughn. He has requested the Glycerin 21 probably 7 times, maybe, over the past 2 months. He commented on the video this morning. I'm patiently waiting for the Brooks Glycerin 21 review. Conor, we got you, bro. This one was for you, bro. Shout out Conor Vaughn putting in that work. Shout out to that guy putting in the work too. Bang.